Welcome to Sport of Business. I'm Adam Linkenauger.
Rocky Eula here.
And today we are talking about Jeff Bezos and his suspected dick pic. And really what you can learn about it from a marketing and business standpoint.
Yeah.
Rock, what the hell happened? What's the story?
So the story behind this is National Enquirer. I'm sure everybody knows who they are. But they somehow got pictures of Jeff Bezos and, like Adam said, the infamous dick pic. They said they got it. And they're pretty much threatened to extort him in exchange for him retracting some comments that he had made about them in the past. So they threatened him to extort him. Mm-hmm. And Bezos decided to go public with it on Medium, which is one of my favorite platforms. So that was pretty cool. I'm an avid Medium reader. And to see his article pop up on there, I couldn't help but click.
First article ever, Jeff Bezos puts this up, and it has the word Pecker in the headline.
Yeah, so Mr. Peck, so I think his name is David Pecker, is the owner of American Media and the National Enquirer.
All right, so if you're not familiar with National Enquirer, they're those trashy magazines that, like, when you're in Walmart, you walk past and they have some bizarre-ass headline. I tell you what, if you're in the email marketing or even, like, headlines on your YouTube videos, if you model some of the headlines on National Enquirer, they use some shady, clickbaity terms that will definitely get you some clicks.
Yeah, so this video pretty much isn't so much to talk about what happened. You can go read about it far better than we can explain it. But what we want to kind of talk about is the position that Jeff Bezos took, the richest guy in the world, most powerful guy in the world, you could say. Mm-hmm. And he attacked it up front.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Well, first of all, it's easy to say, I would have been transparent too. But when you're already going through stuff, the divorce, all that going on in his life, and then for this to come out when you are the leader of the world's largest company at this point, you're in a position where not only do stockholders are constantly paying attention to you, especially in this moment where there's already been a ton of not so positive attention on Bezos, then this happens. They attacked him at this moment for a reason. They felt that Jeff was vulnerable, so to speak, but he showed the exact opposite. He showed that, hey, in my opinion, he showed that this is someone I want to follow because he stood up and he said, hey, if you're going to do this to me, hell, I'm just going to do it myself. I'm going to expose everything that's occurred here. And I'm going to flip it around to where when you're trying to make me look like this bad person, I'm going to make you guys look like the bad people.
And the craziest thing is this makes Jeff Bezos look like a hero now. And he even said that, how would it...
And a victim.
Yeah, the hero and the victim. How would it look like for him if he couldn't stand up to these guys? All the other people that they've done this to, they really have no chance. And come to find out, other people have contacted him since the article, pretty much saying how they've been extorted as well. But they couldn't do anything because, as they put it, kind of their livelihoods were on the line. So if the most powerful man, the richest man in the world could be extorted, then anybody could. And Jeff Bezos wanted to prevent that from happening. But I think it's amazing, like you said, that he came out front with it. And in his book, Influence, Robert Cialdini talks about one of the best ways to be an authority, to gain influence over people, is to come out with realness. To pretty much address your flaws up front, and that will make you more trustworthy in their eyes. And this is the epitome of that there.
And this is something we can all learn from, because YouTubers, internet influencers, just influencers in general, marketers as well, they want to appear perfect. If you go and you search marketers or your favorite influencers, you see pictures of them looking perfect. You see fancy cars, money, power, fame, status. And when the richest man in the world, who can buy all of them with his single day's pay, could buy them up, when he's the one that's showing realness, when he's the one showing the truth behind what's happening in his life as the richest man in the world, this is what's the difference between being an influencer trying to look perfect for likes and being influential where people attach to you, they want to follow you, you are influencing them versus just being someone that they click like on, you know, an IG post for.
And I highly recommend, if you have an audience, be upfront with your negatives, your flaws. Create a blog post, write an email, do a video. Adam and I just created a video, I think it was the last video on this channel, was about our losses. Adam recently wrote a post on how everybody talks about reading, but he can't read because he doesn't retain the information.
Right.
And a lot of people would have been scared to say that in a world where, oh, you've got to read a book a day to be successful. Adam said, I can't read and retain the information, so reading isn't for me.
Right.
And a lot of people empathize with him in that situation, and he built a better relationship with his followers from that situation. So I highly recommend being real. If you haven't been real yet with your audience, and if you've tried to be perfect, open up to them and you'll gain a lot of
Literally,
trust.
do a post today that simply states, I may look perfect, but I'm not. Here's why.
Yep.
And I promise you'll get more likes, comments, attention on that post than anything that you've done before. And, you know, this is something that a marketing 101 is zig while everyone else is zagging. And why everyone right now in your space is trying to come off as perfect and expert, as the person on top of the mountain screaming down to all of us peasants. You need to literally look like you are a normal person. Show yourself through social media being on the same journey as everyone else, instead of just pretending that you're at the finish line, telling everyone else to catch up.
And this strategy, I think, will work forever, because there will never be a time where everybody is just transparent. Like, as long as we live, the people on top will think that they have to be perfect, and they will give that view of themselves as being that perfect person.
Right. So easy way to grow on social media, no matter what the platform is show your realness, show your weaknesses, show your insecurities. Right. What's one of your insecurities, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, one of my insecurities, even though I do speak Spanish, I'm Puerto Rican, so I speak Spanish, but my Spanish isn't perfect. You know, every now and then I'll say a word wrong, I'll use an incorrect kind of conjugation.
Hell, I do that in English.
Yeah, so that is probably one. So when I go to like Puerto Rico or something, that's one thing that I may feel insecure about, is talking with other people and them saying, this guy's Puerto Rican, but he doesn't speak perfect Spanish. So one way I combat that is every single time I go to Puerto Rico, and let's say, even for example, when I was in Colombia, and I was sitting in the car with a guy, and he knew we were from the States. This is when we all went to Medellin. When we were in the car with the guy, and he said, like, he wasn't talking to us because he didn't think we spoke Spanish, because the guy hosting us.
Is this the one that offered us drugs?
No, he was in the other car with Kevin and
Joe. Oh, got you, yeah.
So, yeah, that's Medellin for you. But the guy, he was pretty cool. He wasn't talking at first. I don't think he thought we knew Spanish. So I started speaking Spanish to him, and he was like, oh, you speak Spanish? And he said in Spanish. And then I said, yes, but it's not perfect. And that eased everything, because in that situation, I could speak how I spoke with him. He said, oh, man, your Spanish is great. You speak great Spanish. What are you talking about? And it was just made me feel more comfortable, and it built in a kind of a better relationship between us two.
Right.
Yeah, well, I was going to finish now. Had I just tried to start off speaking Spanish, and then I said in a word wrong or something, he may have said, what's this guy trying to do? You know, so that's what about you?
It would have came off as being stupid.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
That's how it would have. Well, you know, I wanted to speak on the event. We spoke Frontline Marketer.
Yeah.
We went to London to speak at this event. And, you know, Rock and I, especially at this point, we hadn't spoken a lot. We've gone through a few different places.
Yeah.
Speaking something that's fun to us, but we don't seek speaking.
Yeah, we're not just, we don't speak like 50 times a year.
Right. So when people come to us and they're friends, they say, hey, want to come speak at my thing? We're like, sure. And we went to London, spoke at John Penberthy's Frontline Marketer event. And, you know, you went first. And here, I'll let you tell your piece, and then I'll tell mine.
So pretty much, you know, I think we kind of do this. We're always transparent with our audience, and this is something that I like to do in general. But when I got on stage, I told them straight up, like, look, I don't speak a lot. I know you guys see me. I have 1.6 million subscribers on YouTube. You probably think I'm a great speaker. I'm good on video, but I don't speak a lot, and I don't speak in front of rooms full of people. So you're probably going to hear me swallow my words, choke on my spit, something. But don't worry. Don't focus on kind of how I'm saying things. Just focus on what I'm saying. And that right there, people laughed. And they were all ears in that situation. Adam, you kind of had the same situation.
Well, I got sick. Like, I love speaking. I'm usually, beforehand a little nervous, but when I'm up there, I'm loving it. But this time, I was actually sick beforehand. And I mean, when I'm talking about sick,
he was sick.
Really sick. Yeah. But I came to London. I was going to do it regardless. But the night before, I had it slated in my mind that I was going to do my slides on the trip. It was a long trip, so I was going to put my presentation together, call it procrastination. Yeah. But I got sick, so I couldn't. I didn't have time to. So literally the night before, here I am up sick, putting my slides together. They felt awful. They seemed awful. It's time to go speak. I'm so lightheaded that I can barely stand up. So John's looking at me beforehand, you ready to go? And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm going to do this. He's like, dude, what's wrong with you? So I told him I was sick. They're awesome. They put a chair up there for me to sit in, gave me a water. He went ahead and pre-framed it like, Adam's sick, so we're setting him up on stage. So he's comfortable so I don't pass out and fall on, row 1, 2, and 3. 3 because I'm a little bigger now than I was. But anyway, John let everyone know. But then when I got on stage, I did the same thing. I said, I'm so happy to be here. I wouldn't miss this in the world or for the world clearly. But I am sick as a dog. I'm going to sit down so I don't throw up on rows 1 through 5. And what happened, like Rock said, it was a lot of laughter, a lot of comfort. People came up to me after and said, you did so amazing. You did a great job, which is great to hear. But what was going on in my mind is, had we not done that, or had I not done that, imagine what the audience would have thought if some guy just showed up. He's already sweating. He ain't even started yet because I was so sick. He sits down in a chair. He made them bring a chair up on stage.
The only person with a chair.
Right, to sit down and drink and sip water with a little mic right in front of him. How lazy I would have looked. How, sorry I would have looked. And then on top of that, the presentation, people were being nice, saying it was good, but it wasn't my best work by any means. Had I not prefaced what was going on and let them know, people would probably not have thought my presentation was nearly as good as they said.
And from the comments, people kept referring to our presentations as two of the best ones. So I guess we did something
Honesty. Honestly, there were some people, and I'm not going to name names. John's a great speaker, but there were some people who were speaking there. One that really comes to mind, not going to name them.
Yep, I know
that
you're talking
was
about.
Trying to be a professional speaker,
Yep.
and people weren't a big fan of that.
They weren't.
Didn't come off really well at all.
They were like, oh, his information was basic. He didn't teach me anything. Had he led kind of how we led it, then they would have been like, oh, great speech, probably. It just goes to show that can happen.
Well, and I don't want to learn from speakers anyway. I want to learn from people who are actually doing the do versus someone that's just really damn good at speaking. Mm-hmm. So when I see our nervous asses up there giving powerful information, because we don't go and speak, we sit behind a computer and do what we said. Yeah. So I like learning from people who I have a lot more confidence that are doing the do. But anyway, be real with yourself. I can't stress this enough. Yep. The realness that you present, especially, we have a lot of people who are either early on in their online business or they're starting their online business. That's a great deal of the followers on this channel I would love to see you share your journey. Versus try to pretend to be the expert from day one. By simply just showing people on social media what you're doing, talk about the mistakes that you're making, the problems that you're having, the things that you're learning, and allow people to connect with you on your journey. Those who aren't as advanced with you are going to happily follow you because you're going to be ahead of them, but you're not claiming to be an expert. You can have full confidence that, hey, I'm going to show you what I'm learning. I'm not an expert, but come along this journey with me, and I guarantee you see more followers in your future.
So use the Bezos dick pic as motivation to being real.
Yeah, Rock literally just puts it on his wallet, you know. I'm kidding. All right, so hey, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed this video. We will be back soon. And do us a favor, if you did like it, like this video, give us a like. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts on this whole controversy are. Are you a Bezos fan or not? And if you haven't yet, give us a subscribe. We love to have them. They let us know that we're doing something worth a damn, and we appreciate you. See you in the next video.